When last we spoke, Dr. Kessler, which was about 2.5 weeks ago, I think it feels like it was about a decade the way the news moves right now. You said something that night that has stuck with me, that I have talked about with my staff almost every day since, that I have done a lot of reading about since you said this on the show. It was something you said about treatment, what appears to be effective treatment for COVID that is going unused in our country, even though we have that treatment available. And I just want to play for our viewers and play for you what you said, just because it is something that has been ringing in my ears ever since. Here's what you said.
Right now, I mean, if you have positive results from the virus on PCR or any other kind of testing, and you are at high risk for progressing to severe COVID disease, you're not in the hospital, but you're at high risk, you really should ask your doctor about starting monoclonal antibodies. In fact, tonight, we have more than we're using, and that's why I'm mentioning it. Again, these are in limited supply. I can't guarantee it's available for everybody, but if you are at high risk for progressing to severe disease and you have a positive COVID test, at least talk to your doctor. Let's use up what we have.
So monoclonal antibodies got a big public boost in terms of public awareness of them when President Trump was treated with one of the monoclonal antibody treatments that's been allowed for use under emergency use authorization by the FDA. As I understand it, there are 3 different monoclonal antibody treatments that are approved for that kind of use. One that's there's sort of 2 combination drugs and one that's a single drug. But I was very surprised to hear you say that we've got effectively quite a lot of that available as a supply to keep people who are at high risk of progressing to severe disease, who could be treated with this treatment. And and clinical trials show it has a lot of promise, but people generally aren't asking for the treatment, and physicians aren't generally prescribing it. Can you just talk more about that? Help our viewers understand what that means.
So you are exactly right. Now, let's just make sure everyone understands. Right? The most important thing today is to mask, socially distance, and get the vaccine if you are eligible. But the reality is that even with life-saving vaccines, some people are thousands of people every day are getting COVID. And if you test positive and you are at high risk, and what do I mean by high risk? Over 65, obesity, diabetes, on cancer chemotherapy, immunosuppressed. If you test positive and you are at high risk, it's very important to ask your provider about getting monoclonal antibodies. But this is key, Rachel. Timing is everything. You need to be treated early, within 10 days of symptoms, before hospitalization. I looked at the data last night, and what it shows that for every 52 doses administered of monoclonal antibodies, for somebody who's tested positive and high risk, for every 52 doses administered, we can save 1 life. It decreases hospitalizations by 70% in high-risk patients, and it does save lives. So if you have symptoms, please get tested early, especially if you're at high risk, because you can do something about it. We have therapies that work, and only 32% of what we've shipped has been used. There's hundreds of thousands of doses available. And that's why I'm very happy to be here tonight, so we can talk about this, because we want to make sure, the president wants to make sure that Americans know that this is available to them.
So just to be clear, Dr. Kessler, nearly 70% of what has been shipped, what is available to be used as treatment in the context that you're describing, is going unused, is sitting on the shelf.
Right. And if I can make a plug, if you'll let me, if you or a family member test positive and are at high risk, just go to combatcovid.hhs.gov and you can look up where there are sites that administer this, and please talk to your provider. We have to use up this very important therapy. We can save lives here.
A 70% reduction in hospitalizations in clinical trials. And we've got, even with our reduced numbers, tens of thousands of Americans getting COVID every day. This as a treatment option is something that needs more attention. You are helping us provide that. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.